dark spot on me here. Had to look dark, and let me back up a little bit. Hope everybody can see me good this morning. I hope the light's good enough. Don't need a little light behind me. Having my hat on, like, let's see. Get started here. See if I can get a couple people in here. Look like I got a good tan anyway. I can see everything in the background good. Let's see if I need to turn. No, I don't know if I need. Hey, Farmall, how are you doing this morning? I'm trying to get my camera situated. I don't know if I look a little bit dark on this one here. I'm right behind the light and everything. I don't know how dark I look. Look like I got a good. Yeah, I got a good dark blue shirt on and everything. Well, I'm trying to. Yeah, got on my truck. You're putting the touches on my 345 engine. Okay, well that's cool. I'm glad to know that. 345. Now what is that out of? I know 348 used to be a Chevy. What is a 345? I'm not familiar with a 345 engine. Is that I don't know. Is the volume and everything pretty good on this morning? I'm on my wife's computer. Oh, a 1974 International Lodestar. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I used to have a Michigan loader. I sold it a few months ago. We had issues with the oil cooler was leaking, and it had a little small Detroit engine in it. Oh, it's a grain truck. Okay. Okay, so everything looks good. Yeah. Yeah. Now, with your grain truck, is that one that's got the conveyor and everything built on it, so you can just dump it and spread that back into the hoppers and everything? I used to do a little bit of work on a big farm down here. I used to run silage trucks and everything. We would have to ride right beside the. Hey, Mechanic Mike. Oh, volume sounds good to you too. Okay, I hope the video looks good. I look a little bit dark on this screen here that I'm on. I hope I'm not too dark. Of course, that might get rid of some of the imperfections here. Oh, school, yeah. Oh, international. I drove a lot of old international school buses. I actually drove I had a Dodge school bus. Was my main school bus that I drove, and I'm old enough that kids drove school buses way back when. That's what we did and everything. Oh, it doesn't have a PTO. It's got a PTO hydraulic dump. Okay, yeah. Well, those are fine. Yeah, I used to, like I said, years ago, I ran a silage truck. We had to ride right behind the tractor that was cutting the silage and everything. It would shoot it over into the truck, and then we'd take it over, and we had the dump beds and everything on that, and we would dump it into the large hoppers and everything, and they would shoot it up to the silos and everything. Yeah, farming's come a long way since I was doing that. That's been, gosh, that was in the 60s. So it's come a long way. Hey, Doug, how are you doing this morning? Glad to chat with you last night, Doug, and everything. You sound like you had a pretty good crowd in there. How is it in Bama this morning? Is it nice and cool in Bama like it is up here in North Carolina? A little bit chilly this morning. It's in about the I want to say 40s, or it's in the low 40s, upper 30s up here this morning. Well, that's good. Doesn't have that, so it's real easy to rebuild. Yeah, if you don't have to board out, it didn't have any sleeves. Yeah, yeah. Now, Mechanic Mike. Now, where are you at? I try to remember all these different locations and everything. What state are you in, Mechanic Mike? Well, it's 49 degrees. Well, yeah, 49 degrees in Bama for Doug. Yeah. Well, it's I'm trying to think what's the temperature. I think it was 41 a while ago when I got up. It's probably close to 49. It's supposed to get up to 69. It was 42 degrees. I'm looking at it right now. It's 42 degrees. 35 degrees in Pennsylvania. Whew, Lordy mercy. Good morning, Tim. How are y'all? Uh, yeah, 35. Which part of Pennsylvania are you in? I know I used to have to drive. I used to have a run to going up to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and then one to Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm familiar with some of that territory up there. And actually, I used to run. I run all the way up. What do we call that? I think it was just the name of the truck stop, but it was all the way up 81, up above Hershey, and up there in the mountains, almost to the Pocono Mountains up there. Okay, so you've got that on there. Well, JC's got an opportunity to sell it for more money, and I told him to sell it. I'm all about everybody getting more money. I'd like to have it. It's a nice one, and he and I had an agreement on something, but he's had somebody to step in there and offer him $5,000 or $6,000 what he was going to sell it to me for, and I said, "Go for it." Go for it. I mean, I wouldn't want you know anybody out there make the most you can make. JC was real nice to me on it, and he offered it to me at a very good price, and now he's got an opportunity to make a little bit more, so it doesn't bother me. You know, things like that are like it's like bananas. They come in bunches. I don't worry about them. I'm old enough that I don't worry about car fever and truck fever and equipment. I like to get a good deal on things, and if it's the best deal, I'll get it at the time. I don't get overly excited. I mean, I have salesmen call me all the time about equipment, and I don't let myself get sucked into saying, "Oh, I got to buy this," or "Oh, I got the fever for that." Those days are long gone for me. I don't worry about those things. Uh, you can get too caught up in trying to get the latest and greatest deal and everything. And they I tell people I sold cars years ago. Actually, I sold cars in this dealership right here that I'm in right now. It's sort of ironic. I mean, this the office I'm in right now. It's my wife's office now. This used to be the sales manager's office years ago, back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s. This was Sam's office, the sales manager, and I used to have to. I guess the salesman's job is to keep the fever boiling for the person wanting to buy the car, keep him interested, keep him going, and that sort of stuff. But being in that position for all those years, and well, I didn't sell cars. I sold cars for about 2 or 3 years. So but I, I learned not to worry about that. Well, hey Chris, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just snowed here last night. Good gracious, mechanic. Okay, you're up now, Mike. Mike, where are you? I didn't catch where you were. But if it snowed, good gracious. Right, from Rockford. Okay. I'm trying to read everything right now. My chat went straight up real quick, and it gets to a point that, all right. Yeah, I'm we're trying to, as you see, I can turn this thing around. I had one little project yesterday I was working on. As you can see, I'm putting a new cabinet and everything over here for my wife. So that's my latest project on that. And then, as you can see out here, I've got other things, but I'm trying to use my carpentry skills to. Hey Ed, how are you this morning? I'm trying to use all my carpenter skills to get everything tidied up and finished up. We got about a week and a half to go, so we can get all this up and going before we open it up officially in here. And then we're going to have a grand opening later. I've got Napa supposed to help me with some things to get a grand opening, so we're hoping to do that and get our sales increased, get everything going good. Just try our best to make the best of the new situation. The people are going to have to get acclimated to my new location and everything. We'll confuse some people, but we've been trying to tell everybody, and a lot of people around town know that we're opening up and building this and cleaning up the old. A lot of people go, "Oh well, what's going on at the old Ford place?" And that's how most people know it. Well, the older people do. The younger people think of it as it was a heat and air conditioned place for a while, but most people around town see that I've taken this older building and refurbished it, and we have tried to do a good job and make everybody proud of this side of town, that what we're doing. We're on a real good section of town. As you can see, the cars zipping by in the background there. I'm right on a major highway, Highway 150. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it a one-stop shop there, Chris. Uh, yeah. Well, Mike, I'll see you later. Glad you were able to stop in there. Uh, Chris, you and Ricky, I know, are staying busy out there, out in Kansas and everything. I hope. Have y'all got the bad weather yet? I noticed, I was looking at the weather forecast, and it was showing some of that cold air swooping down. I don't know if it got down to your part of Kansas or not. Doesn't take long to cool down those plains out there. I know that for sure. There's no mountains or anything to obstruct anything. It'll just sneak on it up there on you real quick. And I don't know how much snow you get in your area and everything, but yeah, I'm always, when you go back through the Midwest, the Midwest, as a trucker, always kind of spooked me for the fact that you can get those snowstorms real quick, and it seemed like, and just come out of nowhere. I got caught in a couple of snowstorms out in the Midwest, and they can they can get you. They can get you real quick. Yeah, we're working ourselves hard over here trying to get everything finished up. It's like I said, I showed you this one project. This project over here, hopefully I'll finish this maybe today. I just got to put some shelving and a few things up. We've actually, what this was a big window, but the sun came in real bright every afternoon. It really was a terrible window to have, and for security reasons, because it was one of these old aluminum type. We just went ahead and took this window out completely, and I boxed it in. I've made shelving and everything for my wife, so she can have some shelving and a few things and better protection in here too. We're putting metal on the outside and then insulation and then we've got the plywood and the shelving and everything else. So we've made this a lot more secure uh, with the change of doing this and everything. And now my wife can get in there and put some useful things. She'll probably, knowing my wife, she'll probably put some pictures, memorabilia type things or whatever. I don't know. We got a bookshelf up here too. So she's got plenty of shelving in her office. So we're not going to have to worry about that too much. Yeah, blow your rig right in the ditch. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten rid of windows in this building here. I've got plenty of uh, this whole entire building was nothing but glass. I mean, when you look back, I'm gonna turn around here, but if you look back in here, all of this was glass, and we've covered it over, insulated it, put wood. We put the plywood and the pegboard, and then on the outside the metal and the insulation, and everything. We've insulated the building really good. So, we still got the front, as you can see right back behind me here. You see the glass front. We still have a good portion of that. Of course, now we had that tinted this week too. So we changed that up. We got the whole outside perimeters tinted now, and even in this, as you see right here, this glass right there, you see the tint in that glass. Maybe we have these offices tinted too. So when you're outside in the showroom part, when you look back, you actually, unless you look real good, you won't even see anybody in that room. We got the mirror effect on that tint, so we kind of have a little bit of privacy in this office while we're in here. And actually, people won't know we're in here too. And on my office on the other side of the building, I've done the same thing. My office on the other side actually is not as big as this office. This office here is just a tad bit bigger than mine, and it only has one doorway, whereas this one has two. Also, that one, of course, now I'm setting mine up and I'm putting all the camera systems. I'm putting more electronics in mine as far as the cameras, the monitors, other computers, and a few things like that on mine. So we're trying to make it technology wise as good and as safe as I can, and hopefully we'll have it so we can do a few things in there. Well, my chat. Let me get on my chat. I keep my chat over here. Oh, there it comes back up again. I'm trying to keep up with it. Yeah, I can sell parts nationwide. I mean, uh, as far as I'm not limited to where I can sell parts. I'm a parts store. I'm an independent contractor, so I can sell my parts anywhere in the United States. I mean, if I've got something that you want, so be it. I can ship it to you or whatever. I ain't got free shipping like Amazon. I don't. I don't. Amazon ships gazillions of things. I don't know if I could drop ship something into you or whatever, Doug. But yeah, we're gonna try to have a good supply of everything. We're working our keister off on that. That's one of the things we're trying to do is to be a very inclusive uh, parts store here in Cherryville. Yeah, yeah, I can ship it on my FedEx. Yeah, yeah. I wish I controlled that too. My trucks, of course, I don't have any going to Alabama either. Uh, yeah, I can ship it on FedEx, but FedEx has a tendency to want to charge me also. They don't give me free shipping either. I've tried to. I mean, and you would think I can get a little bit of discount on some of I get an employee discount on some of the FedEx shipments that I ship. Like if I had to do an overnight package, I get a little bit of discount on that. But as far as major shipping or anything, I'm pretty much same as all the rest, everybody else. It's one of those things. You would think that you could get a way better rate, but they've got in turn. I guess you have to look at it. They have to pay me. Yeah, shipping's not too high. I mean, shipping in today's market is really uh, shipping is very, very competitive nowadays. The only one that gets you is LTL freight, and when you do LTL large freight, other words, LTL stands for less than trailer load. For those not knowing what the acronym is, but when you do LTL freight, that it consists of like a huge desk or a piece of or great big pieces of furniture or big piece of equipment. They're they're out. They're going to charge you. If you go out and you buy a new lathe or, well, I mean, I got a lathe last year, and I think the freight on that lathe was $400 or something. I forgot where it was shipping from, but I think it was around $400. But when you got to look at it in the respect of, even if it is $400, could you go to a factory somewhere, pick it up, and then drive it back home for $400? Probably not. And that's generally the way I look at things like that. You have to look at it and say, is it cheaper for me to have it shipped in? And plus, it's guaranteed. I mean, I had I got a new refrigerator here for the shop, and got it from Home Depot, and they did free delivery. And even on that, it came with a little ding on it. They had a dent on it, and they said, "Well, we're going to knock $100 off for that for doing that." So I got me a new refrigerator, stuck it in a corner where you can't see the dent, and I got I got a good little refrigerator for the shop. Uh, that's that's the way business is done today. And I was happy to do it, and they didn't want to have to take that back, even though they're probably the ones, the shipping companies probably the ones that dinged it up, and but they in turn gave me $100 Home Depot gift card because for my troubles and everything. And I said, okay, I'll take that $100 dent. I'll slide that dent into the corner. You won't see the dent, so I'm happy with it. They're happy. I'm happy. So be it. That's the way way I let it roll. Yeah. Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, you've got to, Chris. You know that when you're, if you are going somewhere. I mean, if like Chris's case goes to a lot of auctions. When I go to an auction or whatever, I try to prepare myself by taking the right equipment with me so I can bring it back. So I'm not making two trips. Now that doesn't always happen. Sometimes I'll get to an auction and I'll buy a piece of equipment that's way bigger than what I need. Or unfortunately, like I did a couple of years ago, I was buying so much darn stuff. Came around, they sold a truck. I bought the truck so I could load everything in the truck. So I kind of killed two birds with one stone like that. I was able to drive the truck home without having. I loaded all the things I bought at the auction in the big truck, and then brought it all home at the same time. It was a big 20, 20 24-foot box truck, and I was able to load everything in it. Yeah, yeah, you got to watch that. I mean, you'll get out to a sale and what you'll get the fever, and you'll get to buying too much, and then the next thing you know, you go, oh crap, how am I going to get all this back? And if you're too far away, then you've already cost yourself more trips, either shipping to get somebody else. Yeah, yeah, and I usually I try to take. I've got a 24-foot box trailer, and I try to review as best I can when I go to a sale. Well, should I what do you think I'll get this item, this item, this item, or this item? And how big of a piece of equipment should I take to if I do get it? And that's when I try to do. Not always that successful. Sometimes I'll go in nothing but my car, my pickup truck, and end up buying way more than I need, and then I have to call for help. Yeah, yeah. If it's and that's what you got to do. You got to give it your best estimate of what you may or may not need, and what you man, what's that calling me there? Yep, uh, I got a brick mason is just now dinging me, won't know if I need any more work done. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna text him and uh, let him know I'm here right now, and let him come out here, and if he wants to come out here and give me an estimate on this brickwork I need. I'll, I'll let him know he can come running over here. And if you see a guy that looks like uh, Grizzly Adams or whatever coming in, that's him, because he's a hey Walter, how are you doing? Uh, yeah, I got a brick mason that's done a lot of work for me in the years past, Randy Pruitt, and I've got to change the lintel on the back garage area back here. I've got a 12-foot door, and I'm gonna change it up to a 14-foot door so I can pull the tractor trailers in there. I'm gonna try to get this shop all inclusive, so I can get my trucks and my cars, everything over here to work on. Well, I hope everything's going good, Walter. I hadn't seen you in a while. Well, at least I hadn't chatted with you personally in a while, but I'm glad to see you back in here. I'm trying to finish up, like I said, out here at the Napa store, and trying to get everything rocking and rolling, and finishing it up. And as you'll see, it looks like a construction area out here for sure, because we're doing carpentry work. Like I said, I'll spin it around. There's a cabinet. I've taken out a big window there and made a cabinet for my wife. She's giving me the pleasure of being. I'm sitting in her office here. I got stuff piled up on her desk here. I got this desk here in the back too. I've got can't show you with the setup I've got, but I've got two lateral file folders in the desk area here, and I'm sitting in her at her computer right now, looking back. Yeah, well, I got a concrete chainsaw. Well, not a concrete chainsaw. I got a concrete saw. I got the big diamond point. I guess you'd call it like a chainsaw. No, she doesn't need a recliner. She doesn't want me having one either. uh, she doesn't want me falling into that recliner mode. I mean, it's easy though. I can, especially now that I've tinted the windows and a few other things over there. I can turn the lights off and get my recliner, and I got a few monitors and a few things in there, and I can watch the back of my eyelids real quick. I can tell you that. Uh, it's easy. I can. I was over here the other day, and she said, "Don't." Well, it was the other night. She said, "Don't stay here too long." She knows how I am, and I fell asleep in my recliner and woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, uh, I'm gonna try to sell tires, Doug. Yeah. Yeah, now the saw I've got, Chris, is a Makita. I've got a Makita with what is that? About a 14-inch blade, 14-inch diamond blade on it. I don't know how many cc's it is, but it does a good job. I haven't fired it up in a while. I haven't actually used it in a good while. Uh, I don't. I like it when you need it. They're wonderful, and then of course I set them in my shop and may not use it for 8 or 6, 8 months or a year or a year and a half. I don't know if I've had that thing fired up in the last year. Probably. I hope I got enough uh, the gas treatment in it that it hadn't gone bad. Of course, gas doesn't go as bad when you got, I find on chainsaws as it does just regular gas engines. I guess because you add oil and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna try to, Doug. I'm gonna try to sell tires. Be a full service shop once I get that part of it up and going. Uh, the first order of business is, of course, is to get the parts store going. And once I get that acclimated and everything in there, I'm gonna go, uh, do the rest. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Now mine, like I said, the one I've got the diamond blade on mine. I've got on the concrete saw. I've got the big diamond, 14-inch diamond blade. And that blade eats you up. I think those blades are 100 and I want to say 150 a piece, 150, 175. Pretty expensive. I know that. Yeah, that's what I usually try to do is run them out of gas, and then park them, and then yeah, that is usually the best way to do it. Just run it completely out of gas, and you know that when you put the new one in, it'll be okay. Yeah, that's what mine is. I don't have a chainsaw blade. I got a it's like a chainsaw, only it's got the big diamond blade on it. You know what I'm talking about. It's got it. You crank it up. Use it looks just like a chainsaw, only it's got the diamond blade on it. I think 14-inch diamond blade. That's what kind of concrete saw I've got. Had to give me a little something to drink there. talking talking continues gets the old voice here wore out. Yeah, yeah. See, mine actually, it's got a little water thing on it too, where it'll drip water on the blade too. Or a lot of times it doesn't do as the amount you need, and we'll run a hose pipe. Run the blade if you're cutting that, and have somebody there with a hose pipe, so you can wash off everything and kind of clean up around you at the same time, and keep the concrete cooler. Uh, that work seems to work pretty good when you're doing like that. Boy, if you don't, boy, the dust will eat you alive. I mean, I've gotten out there and used it without having somebody with the water with me. Boy, you better have a mask on. You'll be white as you'll be like the snowman, Frosty the Snowman. You'll look so white with white dust all over you with the concrete. Oh, did you? I had to check that out, Chris. I had to check out the video. I'm lazy on the videos. I need to get out and do my video editing. Once I get set up in my office, I'm gonna probably try to do some video editing. I've got my Macs. I got some pretty good Macs. I like that, but my problem is I get out and I don't have the time to actually edit the videos. I'm doing the work, and I'll sometimes say, well, I should have videoed that. I should have done this, but I usually just jump in there and do the work. And if it gets filmed, it gets filmed. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Well, yeah, hearing protection. Yeah, there's hearing aids right here. I can attest to hearing problems. I wear hearing aids because of. Let me put them back in now because of my inability to do that when I was young, or not I guess my stupidity, not my inability. I did a lot of jobs when I was young and did not wear hearing protection. and I am paying the price for it right now. I wear hearing aids in both ears. Uh, they're good. I mean, but there's nothing like your original hearing. I can tell you that. And everybody's going to probably lose a little bit of hearing, no matter what you do as you age. But there's nothing as precious as your original hearing. I I can't hear high notes anymore. I mean, uh, well, I might do that. I might live. I might do a live stream of the grand opening. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and probably do what they call a soft opening. I've got to get in and actually open it. But we're gonna have a grand opening. I'm gonna try to have a lot of they're gonna. I've got a couple of friends that's gonna help me out with some things. I've got uh, Doug Herbert. I talked to him. I don't know if y'all know Doug. Doug used to race NHRA, and he used to in IHRA, and he was a big time drag racer, and he lived here in our town of Cherryville for a long time, and he moved over to Mooresville now, but he still has a thing called Race for Kids. Unfortunately, he had two of his children get his two young boys got killed in a car wreck, and they were, of course, they were out and about speeding and doing what they shouldn't have. And because he is a racer and everything, he started a program, I guess, out of the sadness of his situation. And he started a program called Race for Kids. And it's pretty good. It's a safety thing that he does nationwide. And he shows people all the different things. And plus, he has his big drag race car. He has not the funny car, the next stage up, the big dragsters, 1, 2, 3. Well, same as the one that Ron Capps runs. He used to run against Capps and all these guys. But anyway, he has that, and he said he would bring that out, and they may Napa may bring one of Ron Capps' cars out if you're into NHRA, and we may get a show car, a Napa show car out here too. Now, of course, I've got my buddy, my business partner on one of the truck sides. Landon Walker actually works for Hendrix, and I may get some of the Hendrix guys out here to do a little autograph stuff or whatever. Don't know. I'm still working on that. We're trying to get all that laid out. That's the next stage, you might say. I'm trying to work on and trying to get that going good. Oh, let me get up in my chair. I get to sliding down in my chair. Of course, this chair leans back a little bit further than I like. But we're trying to yeah, you can, Tim. The job that I had way back when I was young, I was a yard switcher, and I kind of contribute that and bulldozing work too. I did a lot of bulldozing work on my own, and I was running some. I had a TD7, and then I was running it, and it had didn't have a good muffler on, and even I think one of the reasons I had a skid steer one time, and it did not have a back glass, and the muffler was right on me, and I was running it day in and day out, and I don't think that helped me much either. So you got to watch. You'd be surprised, and a lot of people even say a lot of lawnmower work will do it. I mean, you're constantly, if you're in the lawn business, a lawnmower work can do it, and where you're right there with a loud lawnmower engine. So you got to be cognizant of the fact that you can ruin your hearing real quick. I'm a testament to that. I've already done it. Like I said, I wear the hearing aids. Hearing aids are not they're not bad. I used to think, well, that's really a sign of an old man, but they got them. They got them now because I'm an old man too. So I guess at 67, I guess I'm considered old. But the new technology is something. I mean, these are digital, and I can raise them up and down, so it's pretty neat. Yeah, you know, there you are, what, 29, Chris? 29, 30 years old. You're right at the vulnerable age right there that you know, if you get a chance, carry you some earplugs around. I mean, you never know when, you know, what you're doing that you're going to need them. And you'll ruin your hearing. You ruin it and you don't. Yeah, 29. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, like Tim said there, you think you're bulletproof at that age. Been there, done it myself. I did the exact same things, and the old saying, and I'm to the other end of it now. If I'd known I was going to live this long, I sure would have taken better care of myself. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm I look back at things and I go, well, yes, I wish I'd taken better care of myself because my knees are, it's hard for me to get up and down on things now. Uh, your back goes out on you. Yeah. Well, I know what you got to do that, Walter. You got to do that. You don't realize what equipment will hurt your hearing, and it's easily you can easily hurt it. Uh, I mean, if you're at real, here's the thing, and this is of course the what they call what ten, tinnitus or something like that. Uh, if you're sitting in a quiet room and you hear nothing but ringing, like a constant ringing, you've got hearing damage right there. Now everybody has a little bit of that, but you'll be surprised. Now when I put my hearing aids in, it I hear more outside noise, and I still have a little bit of that ringing noise. I mean, everybody has a little bit of it, uh, but I don't hear it as bad. But if I take my hearing aids out, then that I hear more of the ringing than I do the outside noise. I guess if you can understand what I'm talking about. I mean, I was kind of scared when they told me about it. And I said, "Oh God, does that mean I'm gonna hear more of that ringing?" No, I actually hear less of it, and I guess it's because the outside noises actually drown that out, and it's more of an inner ear type thing. So if your outside hearing is not as good, then you'll hear more of that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the work never stops. You know, I mean, we're all going to be subjected. I mean, even now, I catch myself with my hearing aids in outside doing work uh, that I shouldn't have my hearing aids in because I can't hear anyway, and then I'm amplifying the bad sounds and everything. So I, I'm not perfect on it either. That's for sure. And I tell my wife, I said, yeah, I'm outside doing work that could hurt my hearing with my hearing aids in, and that's not good. I need to uh, take them out, put in the earplugs, but you get caught up because of the inconvenience. Whoops, what am I hearing there? I heard something just now. I don't know what that was. Was that switch? Let me check something here. It sounded like it was that switch. I don't know. Can't tell. You saw how I rolled over there. Yeah, I was checking to see if Grizzly Adams came in. That's what it was. I thought maybe I texted Randy just a few minutes ago. I don't know if he's going to try to come over here or not. But yeah, well, I don't know. See if Randy. I'll check that message out later. Get all these messages on the phone. Yeah, yeah. My wife. I use selective hearing. for my wife. I mean, sometimes I'll talk to her and you know I'll use the excuse, well, I didn't hear that, and she says, yeah, you got selective hearing. You hear exactly what you want to hear, and if you don't hear what I asked you to hear, then you say, well, I didn't hear it. I guess that's true. Well, good. I hope that coffee will do you well, Doug. You brewed you up. Oh, your battery went dead. Okay. Well, you have to plug that thing in then, Tim. Yeah, we all are tied to lithium ion batteries nowadays, aren't we? Everybody and his brother. We get you look around at everything that is battery operated, and what would we do nowadays? And I've even gotten into buying these battery operated tools. I'm really liking a lot of them. The Milwaukee tools. Milwaukee has got it down pat. I mean, they oh me, yeah. Well, yeah, I just uh, well, I've got on these. I've got actually got rechargeable lithium ion batteries for my hearing aids uh, because we use so many batteries and everything. You need a Napa coffee mug. Well, I'll see what I can do on that, Doug. I'll see if there's any promo stuff out there I can get. I hadn't actually seen a Napa coffee mug. They probably have them. I haven't. I haven't. They got a whole site that's nothing but Napa promo stuff that they sell us. They don't give it to us. That's the unfortunate thing. They You would think that they would want to help promote something that's, oh yeah, we'll give you this or give you that. No, there's a dollar amount tied to every single thing. I got some pretty neat little Napa uh, ice scrapers that I got that that you can clip on your sun visor. So I've got some of those I'm going to be giving out and a few other things. Yeah, I can't get a I can't get anything free. I can tell you that. That's Napa knows how means Napa knows how to hang on to their money too. Yeah, they know how. They know how not to get well, and you know everybody realizes there's no free lunches out here for anything. They, I mean, if you want it, and you understand, they would be inundated with some of the bigger stores, and they do give us promotional stuff here and there, but it's not as rampant as you might think. I mean, they don't come in with a box of stuff one week and say, hey, here, like here, we're going to give this off promotional. Usually it is that you get a flyer and it says, here are the promotional things for this month. You ought to buy 100 of these, you know, or buy whatever this, and we'll give it to you at a good deal and that sort of stuff. But there's not much of that that's free. Wow, that's something, Walter. Yeah, yeah. Napa's got some good old stuff that you know they've got. Well, see, that's good, and that's the local guy, and you know support guys like that, Chris. That's your local guy. Anything that I do, it's out of my pocket, and that's the thing about it. I mean, support your local Napa guy that does things like that because he is he's putting out the dough for that. I mean, they're not. He might get some help. He might get some help from Napa corporate or something like that with some other things, but you know they may bring out. I think they're going to bring out the big tool truck or whatever when I have my grand opening they were talking about. But oh, okay. So Tim, you're in Louisiana. Yeah, you don't need an ice scraper very often. Yeah, we do up here. I mean, up in the Carolinas. I mean, we'll get it where we'll uh, use an ice scraper. See what is in Louisiana is you just use a credit card down there, then don't you? You just got light. I had a good friend of mine. He said, let me borrow your ice scraper. I said, I don't have one. He said, well, pull out one of those worthless credit cards of yours. I'll use it. So, uh, you know, that's that's what that's what a friend of mine used to do. He used to get these gift cards, and instead of when you finish up the gift card, he said, no, no, let me have that, and he'd set them in his console and use them as ice scrapers. And he said they were great ice scrapers, the old gift cards. Yeah, and that happens. That happens, Chris. What town is your local Napa in? What town is it in? Yeah, Ed, it's hard to get motivated sometimes, isn't it? I'm kind of backing up on my chats here. Hey, Sergeant Shield, I see you in here. I'm letting I'm trying to catch up on some of the old chats in here. I've been yakking away, and I hadn't read every single thing. I try to read it, and yeah, I'm trying to catch up on who all's in here. Well, that's good, Ed. Now, what town is your local Napa store in? You're out hiding in the corner, are you, Sarge? Okay. Yeah, management of these stores, it's tough. I mean, even my own. I'm trying to Alliance, Ohio. Okay. See, Alliance, that's I'm trying to put that in perspective. That's northern Ohio too, isn't it? So in Alliance, I got my map here. Pale City. Okay, I know where Pale City's at, Doug. So that's where you're closer to. You're closer to Pale City than you are Talladega. Yeah, yeah, that's uh, Northeast Ohio. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the good thing about being in the trucking business. You get and I try to I enjoy keeping I guess my internal map in my head, and I can when somebody can say a location, I generally have a map, a location, something I guess it triggers in my mind uh, that can kind of put it in perspective of where that place is, and that's good about traveling. And when you go around the United States, and either sometimes I can just picture a map uh, of where everything's at, and or I can actually or to flash back a the actual location. I mean, certain things where you've been maybe a lot of times, or something's dominant that you think of. I mean, if I think of Beckley, West Virginia, I'm thinking of one location up there at Beckley that I used to go to a lot. Um, or if I think of uh, Cincinnati, I picture in my mind uh, up there in the northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area. The things that are dominant in my mind, and then uh, just anything like that. I like to be able to relate back, or like Talladega when you down there where Doug's at. Of course, the first thing comes in my mind, looking off to the left and seeing the big Talladega Motor Speedway track down there, and also, you know, uh, going through different parts of Alabama. I remember I used to have to go to Jasper, Alabama, a good bit, and I used to have to go down to Birmingham and cut back up to going into Jasper. Yeah, now everybody has to do that. Now that's one thing I was telling you earlier about my camera system. I've got a real good camera system that I've installed. We've got 10 cameras out front, and then we're probably going to put about that many in the back too, because yeah, pilferage can hurt anybody like that. And if it you yeah, it really is. It really is. And you try not to think about that, and you try to give your employees the benefit of the doubt, but they got to realize too that you got to make a at the end of the day, you've got to make a profit so you can actually pay those employees. And if you can't sell the product, make a profit, keep the doors open, uh, you might as well shut the doors. And that's what happens a lot of times. I mean, you know, you hate to think of it, and you hate to confront everybody. Oh, you're only 10 miles from the big track, are you? Well, you're right there. Yeah, I knew what, like you were saying a while ago, Pale City. I knew, I remember seeing the signs right there on uh, I-20, Pale City and Talladega, and trying to think what else down there. But yeah, I have that picture in my mind of that particular part of the United States when you mentioned that. Now you can see the big track off when you're going south, or I guess it would be more west southwest. Uh, right there on I-20, you see that. Of course, I remember the first time I'd ever seen this when they first came out with the new Dodge Ram trucks. I was going on I-20, going toward Birmingham. I think I was between Talladega and Birmingham, and they had an unmarked Dodge Ram pickup truck as a highway patrol car down there. And I go, wow. And of course, hey, he passed me with blue lights on, chasing somebody, and he was enjoying himself. I know that patrolman was enjoying himself, because at Dodge, I mean, this is when those Dodge Ram pickups first came out with the big engines, and he was letting it roll. He had it in the wind big time, and I know that he was enjoying himself, uh, chasing somebody down in that big pickup. And it had to be fun, I guess, to be in an unmarked pickup truck, uh, because who in their right mind is going to think that a pickup truck is a police car? Yeah, yeah, it had a Hemi. It had it had a big Hemi, and it's what it had. Uh, and that's what I was saying. When they came out with those Hemi engines in those pickup trucks, hey, you can think about it, but yeah, those trucks are those things are a monster. They're like any race car out there. Any other car. I kept some of the guys when I opened up when I got the Napa store, and I get the good with the bad with that. But I kind of had to have some consistency until I get moved out here, and I've hired some new people out here along with the old, and some of the old may fall by the wayside. Uh, I don't know. I've got to see how we're going to rearrange some things, because some of them have gotten their bad habits. I want to say, doing things they want to do that I really don't want to be done. So I'm going to have to change that. Either change the rules, say here's the rules, and I came in originally and changed a few of the rules. Yeah, well, that's sort of it. And one thing that I stopped immediately. I mean, my guys, when I bought that store out, it's a small store. It was an old washerette. That's what it was originally put in there for. It should have never been a parts store, because the parking lot was terrible. It was a gravel parking lot. still is, and it's not very friendly to your average consumer. Now, the guys that wanted Napa, the farmers, truckers, whoever, if they wanted a Napa part, they came up there anyway. But he continually lost business after business after business. And one of the things that I kind of checked around town, and I got did my own internal investigation of some things, was the guys just sitting in there smoking all day. It smelled like an ashtray as soon as you opened the door. I mean, it would knock you down. I mean, I had two guys that were habitual smokers back there, and they were just smoking, puffing away. The merchandise smelled like smoke. Everything smelled like smoke in that building. I mean, you don't want to pick up a piece of merchandise if you're a non-smoker. Walk out in your car, put it down, and keep hearing something here. Hold on one quick second. What am I hearing? My hearing's not good, but I keep hearing something. I got something clicking over there every once in a while. But you don't want barbershop. I don't know why I need a barbershop. Probably. Yeah, and I'm not trying to knock there's a lot of people that smoke, and that's, if they do, that's fine. Confine yourself to areas that don't affect other people. That's the thing. And so I've cut out all smoking in the building unless a customer comes in. Of course, I'm gonna have no smoking signs in the building, but I don't want my store to smell like an ashtray, and that's what it was doing before. The car, to smell like an ashtray, and I couldn't take it. A lot of customers could. I know it, and that's the way you have to do it. But and our town has that ordinance too. These guys weren't adhering to it. They just did what they wanted to do. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. A lot of people are smokers, and I try to tell my guys that drive for me, guys, don't smoke in the truck. If you want to stop and take a smoke break or whatever. But don't smoke in my truck, because of the fact that the next guy that gets in that truck, and I've had this to happen. I've had guys say, I can't drive that truck. Said it smells like an ashtray. I'll be sick before the end of the day if I do. So to compensate with that, I just say, don't smoke. Just take your smoke break, whatever you need to do. But some guys don't like that. They think that it's their right to smoke anytime they want to smoke, and that's just a conflict that you get into sometimes, and everything. So I get into that, and hopefully, that won't be a major issue. Well, guys, I have been in here over an hour, and I am going to call it a day. I've enjoyed talking to everybody. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Chris. Owner operators, they can do it themselves. But I'm going to call it a day. I've got to actually get back to work, and I've enjoyed the chats. I enjoyed my Sunday chats with everybody. Y'all take care. I'll catch y'all. I'll catch y'all in a few days if I can get out here, and I've got some other interesting things. I'll try to post that too. But I'll see y'all guys later, and I'm gonna call it a day. See you guys.